Madam Speaker, the fact-finding committee submitted its report on 24th May 2019, and a series of recommendations have been made. In this context, a team has already been set up to implement the recommendations. The team is being chaired by the Senior Chief Executive of my ministry and comprises the Chief Executive Officer of the Sugar Insurance Fund Board, a lead financial and governance analyst from the Ministry of Justice, Human Rights and Institutional Reforms, a representative from the Internal Control Unit of the Ministry of Finance and Economic Development, and the Manager Human Resource of my ministry. The committee met a first time already. Madam Speaker, I'm further informed that the ICAC is also conducting an investigation in the procurement of the land by the SIFB, and my ministry is assisting in providing all related documents as requested by the former. I'm therefore advised that it would not be appropriate to table a copy of the report at this stage, as it may cause prejudice to the inquiry.
Firstly, may I ask the Honourable Minister, why is it that the board of the SIFB has not yet been apprised of the report, which apparently is damning on the management of the SIFB, including that famous CEO who is part of that investigating team?
Well, Madam Speaker, the members that are aware, we have the CEO who was there at the time that the whole thing cropped up is no more there. We have a new CEO who has been appointed.
Yes, I was talking about the COO, I do apologize, the Chief Operating Officer, if I'm not mistaken, who is still there, who is still in office, and hasn't been faced with any disciplinary action, not even interim measures to suspend him while the investigation has been ongoing. Is that correct?
Yes, with regard to the CEO, he's still in office, but like I said, in the report that was submitted, the fact-finding report, a committee has been set up to look at all the observations made with regard to all the officers responsible for whatever happened during that investigation, and in the light of that, action will be taken.
Madam Speaker, if I may, with regard to that same COO, with regards to the land acquisition, is it not the case that he sent a mail 20 days before the board had approved for the acquisition of the land to the seller, saying that the SIFB would go ahead with the purchase? So 20 days before he was empowered to do so by the board, that COO did that. And secondly, that COO, as I have said, has been pointed the finger in the report and is still in office. Doesn't he think that he should have, pending the investigation, been made to step aside?
Well, Madam Speaker, I think, again, the member is mistaken with regard to the responsibilities of CEO and the responsibility of the CEO at the time. With regard to the land issue, I can't recall having seen any blame put on the CEO with regard to the land acquisition issue. So I'll refer to that for the time being.
I appreciate the fact that the Minister will reply that the inquiry is still ongoing and that he cannot answer. Let me just ask the Honourable Minister, why is it months have gone by since this matter was raised here in the PNQ? Okay, he will not table the reports, both reports which are damning against management. At least what we want now is disciplinary actions to follow as soon as possible, because someone has to be at fault. It cannot be that you have defrauded 450 million rupees les petits planteurs, or that land has been from 12 million to 15 million been bought, and that nobody is responsible in the management. What we want is someone in that management to bear that blame, the one who is responsible.
Well, first, Madam Speaker, there was no defraud of 450 million rupees as being stated by the honourable member. Payment for compensation was not paid because, as per certain recommendations made at the time, that crop year was not an event year. But with regard to whether who are the responsible person for that, what happened, this is why, following the submission of the report, a committee has been set up with certain officers who are going to look into all the observations made, and in the light of that, will be able to pinpoint all those concerned, and sanctions will be taken accordingly.
Last question, Honourable Duval.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Can I ask the Honourable Minister whether there has been any adverse comment against their chairman or any member of the board?
With regard to the issue of the non-declaration of the event year for the crop 2017 and 2018, one of the observations made was that the board was not enough, didn't dig deep enough into the works of the management, and also with regard to the acquisition of land, some members were pinpointed on that.